It's your girl Tasha. I'm like trying to get comfy on the couch here. Big comfy couch. I am back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tasha and I feel like I was just moving around every which way because if you've been on my channel before, you know me and the lighting are really not friends, and I try my best to make sure it's not too bright, it's not too dark, but this is as best as we get in today. It's heading to the Christmas season and things are different this year, especially if you're from Canada. And now I don't mean to say that it's not hard for everybody out there, because I know that it's been hard for many countries out there. We are all going through inflation, at least the majority of us from what I know. If you're from the GTA, you know it's so hard to have a place to either rent or if you have a mortgage. And I've also seen a lot of people say, like, if you make a certain amount of money, like if you make between like 50, 70,000, $100,000 a year, why are you complaining? You're making enough money. But a lot of people were living within their budget regardless. So if their mortgage was, let's say, $3,000, $4,000 a month, due to high interest rates, they're paying like $5,000, $6,000 now, and it just wasn't in their budget. Not to say that they shouldn't be complaining, but even if they were to go and rent a place right now, it's not easy. There are not a lot of places renting. There's so many things on the news that show that even the situations that people are renting in and the conditions, it's just really bad, and they're doing so much to try to avoid this stuff, but it's just a sticky situation for so many people. And a lot of people, even if they did make a lot of income, they were also helping out family back home and in other countries, so now they have to cut back on that too. So it is hard. It's just harder for people who are making way less money than that, I guess. But we shouldn't not think about those people as well, because one person could be carrying a lot of family members, because it's not easy to get a job out here and to survive. But with that said, with coming to the Christmas season now, a lot of families are having a hard time to manage their money and budget for the Christmas season, whether that be buying gifts, traveling. I don't know if you guys can hear the hail. It just automatically started hailing out of nowhere, and it's really loud, but hopefully you guys don't really hear it. But yeah, I'm just like, whoa. But it has been hard for people to budget for Christmas. I feel like I am late with this video, but when I did see the new statistics about how Canada is really a mess right now due to inflation, I was like, you know what, let me try my best to show you guys ways that you can still budget for Christmas and still have a big Christmas, or a big enough Christmas, so that you are not even struggling mentally. Because if you're somebody or families who are used to things going a certain way, you're used to being able to travel, you're used to being able to have a lot of food on the table, big expensive gifts, it might be a little bit harder for you. Growing up, most of the time, like, we had just a one main income in the household, so we've always had to budget over here. So when I see this happening to other people, I feel like it's probably just a little bit easier for people like me who've always had to try to budget. If anything, it's just, you know, a bit harder at the same time for people who do live like that on a one income, main income household. Even when I go out and I see the malls compared to years ago, they would be rammed, just people just picking up a whole bunch of things. So even around December times, you know, I'm gonna see if there's a whole bunch of people spending a lot of money. I even notice, even sometimes when I go to Costco, my cart would be very scanty because I would know what I'm going in there to pick up. And months ago, like earlier in the year, I would see other people's carts be really full, and then now I'm just seeing them getting less and less. And even me and my brother, when we went and we did our taco video the other day, I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you didn't, you can go check it out. I'll try to leave it in the description, or it's just in one of my videos. But he was saying, like, don't you notice that a lot of people are using the smaller buggies now compared to the big buggies? And it's true. Now when I go out and I look, I see that people are getting more of just what they need instead of just filling up big buggies. I just wanted to show you guys some ways in which you can budget for Christmas and still have a big Christmas with you and your family. And it's just good for your mental health. I know sometimes it's easier for parents to say, you know, we're not going to travel this year, but sometimes for the kids, you know, they look forward to those things, and you can still try to plan little mini things around it and still make it feel like a big Christmas. Okay, like at least try your best and just be smart. It's basically being smart with what you have and planning ahead. In terms of buying gifts, just having a budget for each person would be the best thing to do. So I know like $50 sounds like small, like what can you buy for $50? But trust me, there are things that you can buy. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later, but you can have a budget even between $25 and $50. Okay, like it is possible, as long as you know, let the kids at least make a wish list. Okay, so this is a wish list. This is not a list where it's like you're gonna get everything on this list. No, at least there should be things on this list that they do see. And if it's like a household where there's more than one adult, you know, if you want to say $25, at least say $25 each. So if there's like mom and dad or like two caregivers, at least the adults can split it and be like, okay, we're gonna put $50 on the kids, 25 from me, 25 from you, or we each take a kid each and buy each of what they want on that list. My sister-in-law did show me something on Pinterest. It's a 3-tier snowman, and in one tier it was wants, then it was in the middle needs, and treats at the top. So even just making it a little bit more fun, and you put in the bottom part of the snowman, you could even make it in boxes. You can put all their needs in there. That could be just basic necessities like underclothes, socks, just stuff that they use at school, or blankets. And then in the middle you're gonna put wants, so maybe something from that wish list, like a toy that they really wanted, or an accessory for their iPad or their phone. And then on the top you can put things like treats, just candy and little knickknacks in there, just more of the treats at the top. So it just makes it a little bit more fun, and you're just fulfilling everything. And then the needs, at least they could use that all year round. So you're just doing your role as like a parent at the same time, but they're getting it as a gift, and then they're seeing it as a snowman. So it just makes it a little bit more fun. And also you want to just make sure that you shop smart. On my channel I show you guys that there are options that you could use to still get the things that you want. I use a lot of apps. I go to the outlet. There's also Facebook Marketplace. I do tend to go on Facebook Marketplace a lot to see if I see deals on there. And it was only just one time that I bought something that was just ridiculous, but everything else that I bought on Facebook Marketplace, it was legit, and people have reasonable things on there. You also want to go to like Black Friday sales, so that should be coming up real soon. So just trying to reach a sale, going to outlets in your neighborhood, and even going to a thrift shop. It depends. Like my daughter, she loves thrifted things. Like certain things I could even go to the thrift shop and buy for her. You know, it depends on the person that you're buying for. When it comes to home decor, like it could be cheap and it could be expensive. At the same time, you don't want to spend too much money on that. One thing I would say is that I just made a video where I went to the Dollar Tree. I'll make sure that I link it down below, as well as somewhere up here, and you can get a lot of decorations either for your Christmas tree or around your house. You also don't want to throw out like your old decorations, even stuff from last year. I know sometimes like you don't want to redo the same thing, but even if you don't want to do that, you can sell those items and use the money that you made from selling those items just to buy your new Christmas items. So at least, you know, you're getting the money from it and you're not having to dig in your pockets and buy decorations out of money that you could be using for gifts. You can also be creative and make a lot of the Christmas decorations on your own. I seen on like YouTube shorts and TikTok where someone was actually making snowflakes out of tissue paper rolls. They were just cutting them up and using glue and just sticking it together. So if you're creative, you can get together even with the kids and make a lot of Christmas decorations out of stuff that you buy from like the dollar store. Okay, so you can get like glitter, glue, tissue paper, and you know, just look on YouTube and see people how they just be creative on a budget. So you know, you can still glam up your house for less, okay? When it comes to food these days, I find it actually a little bit more easier for me to even budget, and you guys can do that too. If it's one thing, I always show you guys to use your food apps, okay? For me, I use Reebee, and I just put in the food item that I'm looking for, and it will show me which stores that have it for less. Like for example, I know that this year I want to make mac and cheese, right? So the other day there were noodles on sale, so I just bought a whole bunch of those so that I can make my mac and cheese. I know I'm not gonna buy like my cheese super early, but in the weeks closer to Christmas, I will look on my app again and look for cheese to buy. I'm very specific with my cheese, so I like to either get Cracker Barrel or Black Diamond. I don't really like the other brands too much, so I usually just price match at the stores that allow me to price match. I know back in the day you could price match at Walmart, but during like a few years back, they weren't able to price match anymore. I think it's because everything that was going on, so they just stopped people from price matching. It was just getting like really hectic. I don't know why, but I know that at the Superstore I can price match, and at like No Frills I can price match, and where else? There's a few of them that I could price match at. But if there's like certain stores in the area where I don't have to travel too far and waste gas, I will go to the separate stores and just pick up certain things that are on sale. You should also look in your cupboard and see what you already have. Like sometimes you might just have like extra packs of like beans in case you cook with a lot of beans, extra packs of noodles that you know you want to make a list before you go to the store and just clear out the cupboards, and at least you can refresh it back for the new year just by using what you have already to incorporate into your cooking. Also, if you're having like a get-together, you can just make everybody bring a dish over so that you yourself is not spending so much on the food part. Everybody makes a dish. It's just easier and cheaper that way. Yeah, it's just less stress, and if everybody makes one thing, trust me, that actually saves a lot of money. In terms of travel, now it's harder to get around that. It's just that within the Christmas season, it's actually a little bit more expensive to travel. Like if you look on the rates, like every day leading up to Christmas, it just depends on when you book it. But if you just want to get out for a little bit with the kids, like you can book like an Airbnb. If you live far out and you just want to go into the city just to change the environment a bit, you and like other family members can link up and just put together on an Airbnb somewhere. Like if you're from Canada and maybe you just want to get out and just go to like somewhere like Niagara and just book like a hotel or book an Airbnb out there just for the getaway. Pack board games that you can bring, or you can just go out there and just do a little sightseeing. I mean, if anything, you may just have to rent a car. I know in some places you can actually take a bus out there, so it depends if you don't mind doing that. You can invite family over and just have a get together at your house, just so that you know you and your family can see other people. And maybe from now, if you want to make sure that you can travel next year, you just do like cash stuffing, where you put a little bit of cash away from early so that you can save up for a vacation in the future. You can look forward to it instead of waiting until last minute and then things happen and you just can't afford it because everything is just happening. But yeah, just stuff cash away, like $5-10 here and there. Every time you get paid, you just put like a little bit of money away for a vacation for you and your family. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to lighten it a bit and just give you guys some options of this, you know, crazy time that a lot of us are dealing with. Okay, we are all going through a mess. Like, it's crazy, it's different, it takes a little bit of getting adjusting to, you know, but we can work around it. You can work around it. I've been working around it. I do my best to just stick to a budget and be smart with my money as much as possible. But I hope this video helped you out a little bit. I'm hoping that you guys have a great Christmas with you and your loved ones. And yeah, until the next one, I will see you guys. Bye.